recording. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hope everyone hope everyone had fun. Oh, so okay, quick recap. I'm not going to spend too long on this. So Puddles tried to make a deal with the bad shit Blue Frog. Bad shit Blue Frog proved to be actual bastard Blue Frog. Also, Blue Frog did a bad to Olga's daughter. Olga didn't appreciate that. Olga and Enzo convinced them, hey, that blue asshole is an asshole. You should just let him be dragged. And Puddles is like, oh, I sure am guilty about this. And everyone's like, no, you shouldn't. He's a dick. And then Puddles is like, yeah, I guess you're right. Sucks into ground. He's gone.
I mean, Puddles wasn't that happy about it. She
No,
let it
he
happen,
wasn't.
though.
I am kind of being a shit in this regard. But there you go. That's a quick summation.
And Puddles understood that it wasn't her fault at all, and she flipped him off as he went to the ground and made fart noises at him.
No, that's what Olga did.
And also, she and Enzo started making out.
It was really hot. Olga was high-fiving
That
them
is...
while they and then went to get in space.
Well, now we're just getting into the weird fan fiction alternate universe, I guess. Anywho.
I'm dead. I'm dying.
You're dead. Well, it's been a great game, everyone, but I guess I have to pack up. See you whenever I decide to do another game again. And then Willie was like, I guess I'm here in the Demon Grinder now.
He's rich, at least.
He is very rich.
Willie was in the car, and he's like, I wonder what's happening out there.
Oh well, I guess I'll help Anais cook devil boar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Willie was helping cook because Olga was busy. He doesn't know with what. It turns out it was with ass kicking.
Turns out it was with ass kicking. By the way, so we'll go to the beginning. It's when they are all in camp now. They are all in camp now. Is the aftermath of that. So, we'll go down the line, I guess. We'll start with Willie. Now that you see that everyone has returned, you do see your fellow party members sort of just... They're kind of taken... I don't know, did you guys fly back or walk? Well, no, you wouldn't walk back.
We had to fly.
You had to fly. So you see them fly back, and, they turn back into their physical forms for a moment just to kind of walk the short distance back to the camp a little bit. You see them return as you're likely kind of sitting around with Anais cooking the hellboar. What? Oh, right. It's okay. Would you like me to circle back? I can circle back when you're ready. Okay, let's circle back on that then. That's fine. So we'll circle back. Next person on that docket. Puddles.
So this will be a recap kind of thing, because what Puddles did at the end of last session was Puddles asked Olga for her decanter of water.
Mm-hmm.
And took it and basically went to soak in her bath, away from everybody.
Yes. That is what happened.
As Yaru's girlfriend put it, Puddles is literally wallowing.
Ha. So she is swallowing in her tub.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke. Guess we'll just go ahead and just leave her to wallow. So Enzo. What is Enzo doing now? Is he just going about just in the camp? Just sort of doing his own brood?
He's not necessarily brooding right now. He is, he's kind of in care for others mode now. Like, he's still got his own shit to, be upset about, but he's pushing that to the side because now other people have more things to be upset about. So he's kind of he's in a mode where he's gonna do whatever duty mode. That's a good point. He's gonna do whatever anyone needs him to do. He's going to pick up the slack anywhere. Like, you know, he'll help with cooking. He'll help with handing stuff out. He'll do what anyone needs him to do right now. Because everyone is going through it.
Hmm.
Indeed. Okay. Next person on that docket, Olga. Olga's experienced quite a bit too. What do Olga do?
She had probably disappeared momentarily, but she's back doing stuff. Oh. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's cool. Take your time. We can do that.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah, just take your time. Take your time, man.
Yeah, she seems fine right now. She's also in duty mode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, slightly quieter than usual, but
Mhm.
not
I
that
guess
much. Her fat mouth's pretty
They
fat.
could duty mode together, I guess.
Because everyone is either in I'm doing self-healing mode or duty mode.
We could be hanging out with Anais. Sorry, Puddles is away.
Well, it's away. Well, no, I got something planned.
Olga's a mom. She knows how to put things off until she can be alone to deal with shit.
Okay, so as for the miscellaneous NPCs, Gargunth and Lulu have been kind of rather just sort of quiet on their own. Anais, on the other hand, has also kind of stuck to her own sort of duty mode, which has been basically just sort of making sure to cook boar and to cook the boar, prep it, and she's sort of handing out in very rough cups what is kind of her rough attempt at trying to do a devil boar stew, essentially. So it's a pretty basic stew. It's just, but what would constitute as spices, meat. Somehow she was able to get a few potatoes. She doesn't remember how they got the potatoes, but they did. And
Olga slipped them in.
I'm guessing Olga sort of helped with the other bits. As Anais was like, I know how to take care of the meat and I know how to take care of the spices, but I don't have the vegetables.
And then suddenly they have vegetables and nobody knows how.
Huh. Okay, well,
Olga won't tell.
I certainly will not argue with this.
It's like when you're waiting for something and then you complain about it and then suddenly it happens.
Well, best not to look a gift elk in the mouth, huh?
Elk? Isn't it a boar?
I think my colloquialisms might have been a little lost in that, and I do apologize for that.
Olga's very thoughtful now and confused, but it's okay.
Aw.
I guess to put it simply, the deer and the elk are considered quite important in Arabelan culture.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, they are quite the symbolic beast. Much like how the dog is for Baldur's Gate, the raven is for Neverwinter, that sort of thing.
Olga nods.
But also, you do notice that since you all left and then subsequently came back, Anais does have bandages on herself. So she has taken to trying to heal herself just a little bit more. As per your guys' insistent requests.
Good. I'm glad.
You're glad. All right.
Is she breaking her? Like, is that something that will get her in trouble?
Possibly. We'll have to go ahead and flip a coin to see if
No!
Tamora is pleased or okay with it. Heads please, tails not. Okay. Yeah, she's okay with it.
Okay. Just nobody else can do it, I guess.
You must heal your own wounds, I guess, is her philosophy for now. Speaking of coins. So, Puddles,
Mm-hmm.
whilst you're kind of wallowing in the pool,
Mm-hmm.
you do notice one of the soul coins in your bag start to glow a little bit, as if it's trying to reach out to you to communicate.
She gives it a stare and slowly reaches out to touch it and pick it up.
You do see a sort of presence. You don't see the presence isn't physically there, but it is sort of like a presence is sort of next to you.
Huh.
And then you sort of you hear a woman's voice sort of reach out, and she sort of says, "You look like you've had a bit of a rough day, honey. Care to talk about it?"
Oh, the soul coin's trying to talk to her. Is this like a human?
Insight?
Okay.
Hey, take all the time you need, doll.
Yeah.
Pace yourself. Take whatever self-care you need. If you need anything else beyond that, go ahead and let me know.
Yeah. No pressure here. We love you. Oh, that's a 20.
So from what you can tell, it's an older creature. It's an older humanoid, whatever they are. If you had to guess, it's a humanoid likely in whatever the human equivalent is to their 40s. It's quite the weathered soul. You feel like whoever the soul was, they went through a lot. But you also sense a little bit of a gentleness to it. Like whoever this soul was, in life, they were very caring. Honey, it's okay if you don't want to talk. You just looked like you might have needed someone to talk to.
Stranger approaching about it. Puddles is kind of taking it in, and she's like, oh, sorry, she's still in a weird headspace.
You know, I know a thing or two about trusting someone and having that bastard stab you in the back. We soul coins aren't ignorant of our surroundings, so I did get to witness what happened to you.
Puddles actually cringes at that, and she says, "I'm sorry. I just grabbed you. Just to."
Shh, honey, it's fine. You did what you had to do. And don't judge yourself too harshly for it.
Who are you?
It's been a while since I've been asked that. Delilah. Delilah the Flower, I guess is what they used to call me back in my street days.
The flower.
Well, it was for a certain reason. I had a certain occupation that warranted that sort of name. And I won't get into any more about that, sweetheart, unless that's something you're comfortable with. I know my occupation isn't exactly up for polite conversation.
I feel like I should roll to see if Puddles understands what she's hinting at.
Insight.
Okay. I got stuck. That's a 12. What is insight? Is that wisdom?
Wisdom.
Oh, hello. So plus 3, so 15?
Yeah, you get the you kind of get the idea that her occupation might have been adult in nature.
So she
Wink.
gets a little bit unsure as she realizes it. She says, "Oh, I don't need to pry. It's okay."
I'm not ashamed of it, honey. But I can understand if you're not exactly comfortable talking about it yourself. But yes, in life my name was Delilah. And I guess if you need my resume,
Your resume?
oh gosh, me having a resume. Let's see. Well,
Dell.
list of people I've.
Oh my.
Oh no, honey, we don't rat out clients unless they deserve it. Well, let's see. In life, I would be human, I guess. I was human, and I believe in life, I lived on the streets of Waterdeep, I think. I remember the sparklingness of the city, really. It was nice. Yeah. Honey, don't beat yourself too much about what happened.
Puddles immediately. She was kind of like interested in listening, and she kind of like cringes back when the subject goes back to her.
If it makes you feel any better. But, she's like, if it makes you feel any better, you've done something that I wish I could have done, I suppose.
What is that?
Killing the bastard that abused your trust.
Her expression becomes uncertain, and she's like, I mean, he didn't do anything.
Honey, he was sort of manipulating you.
I was the one who decided to let him out. I'm the one who decided to try to find a way to help him, and just kept messing it up.
And he was the one that abused that kindness. Don't beat yourself up for being kind. He's the bastard that decided to abuse that.
And suddenly her little fists clench, and she grits her teeth, and she says, "Does kindness matter if in the end it damned him?"
Honey, he damned himself the minute he made a deal with Asmodeus. There's no turning back. There's no turning back once you make a deal with the bigwig. I mean, hell, at least when I decided to make a deal myself, it was for something other than power.
She's kind of slacked again, like calmed down, and kind of slumped in the tub. And when Delilah's mentioning her doing a contract, Puddles is like, "Can I ask why you did it?
To save the man I loved.
Oh my gosh.
He was sick, and I didn't have the funds to save him.
Her expression becomes pained.
So I made a deal with Lazarus, the devil whose occupation was for saving poor, miserable souls. He did it. And for a time, I was happy with it. Well, until I found out, I guess, that bastard didn't necessarily love me as much as I thought he did.
Puddles kind of hugs the coin close and asks, if I were to let you out, would that contract lead to you having the same fate?
Unfortunately, sweetie, I am bound to Lazarus's domain. It's okay. I don't mind the cold, I suppose. And I guess if it's any comfort to me, at least I get to know that that bastard burned in the end, even though I didn't get to see it.
Puddles is hugging the coin. Her voice kind of turns bitter. It's not fair. This shouldn't be the fate of some of these people. You shouldn't have to deal with this. You seem like a wonderful person. Why can't I do more for people here?
Shh, honey. You don't have to carry each coin like a damned iron bell around your ankle.
But if I don't care for you, who else would? I don't want to see people like you get burned up in a car.
Well, from what I heard of that friend of yours, Enzo, you have a duty ahead of you that could prevent quite a lot of horrible stuff that could be happening to a lot of people. A lot of people whose fates are still in their hands. Now, I made my decision. I made my bed. And I am living with that consequence. And I'm fine with it. But you're not a super frog, sweetie. And you can't blame yourself for not being able to save everyone. You do your best. I can tell. And if it's and that, for me, does me a lot of good to see that.
Oh.
It'll certainly, it gives me warmth, I guess, and I guess I'll be needing it for where I'm going. I guess.
Puddles is just hugging the coin. And she asks, do you want to stay in the coin, or...
Well, I guess I don't really get that much of a choice. But I trust that you'll make the right one, and whatever you decide to do with me, know that I'm fine with it.
And Puddles has this sort of quivering smile a little bit, and she just keeps holding the coin very, just like protectively.
Now, I might not be able to give you that much of a hug, but I might not be able to give you much in the way of a hug, but I think you've got a couple of buddies out there who are waiting to likely give you that.
Puddles cringes at that. She's like, I can't hug people.
It's the skin, I guess, right? Well, that's not true. I did have a client that was a grung.
You did?
Oh, yes. Big, blubbering, golden fella, I guess. Claimed he was important. And she just sort of shrugs at that. But he kept bragging about how deadly his poison was or something. But, well, joke was on him. Since I'm more than capable of handling my substances.
Fun fact, guys, gold grung poison is actually the most harmless of all.
Or at least, I don't know. He kept bragging about how deadly his poison was, but for the life of me, I couldn't feel anything.
It's a relaxing poison. It just makes you feel chill, and you can suddenly speak grung, and that's what the poison does.
It made for a pretty relaxing night. Though for the rest of that evening, I kept on speaking in tongues.
Puddles is not laughing. I'm just enjoying this thoroughly.
I just assumed he slipped me something, I guess.
Puddles is mildly confused. And kind of... She's... You know what? Delilah's been in the service. Puddles does admit to her. She's like... I've never been with anybody. My poison is deadly.
Oh, okay. I figured it was some sort of weird color coding thing.
That's what it's starting to sound like.
Well, I'm sure you'll find someone. I'm not... I mean, after all, I can't be the only one that's able to hold in their poisons, I guess. I can't be the only one that's able to do that.
Puddles has a very troubled expression. And it actually gives a little bit of a shiver.
She gives a sort of, what you feel is sort of a reassuring... I guess it can only be the feeling of a pat.
Mm.
The best thing a coin can do for the equivalent of a pat.
You guys have got to be more forward with Puddles. She's never going to be like, hey, let's do stuff.
But,
Preparing a poison antidote just so that Olga can hug Puddles and then immediately drink the antidote.
Aww.
But, well, I mean, for the record, you do have a very nice pattern.
Aw, she blushes at that. Do I?
The fella I met who claimed he was gold didn't even have that nice of a pattern. Yours is more unique. It's kind of like a tiger topaz thing kind of going on. It's pretty.
She kind of tries to inspect herself. I've only been called pretty maybe once ever.
Well, that's a shame. So, you might want to go ahead and get to eating soon. I think that boar stew is about to be ready, at least from what I could see. It's kind of hard to see things from... Well, I could sense the smell, I guess. It's been a while since... It's hard to see things through a coin. You kind of have to be close to the thing to see the thing. It's very short-sighted, I guess.
And Puddles is looking wistfully at Delilah and says, well, maybe I can help you get a better view for a little bit.
I wouldn't mind that. I can ride this out for however long it lasts, I guess. At least I'm in good company.
Puddles actually gives a big smile and says, I guess I'm in good company now too.
Oh, well, That's the Delilah Flower guarantee, sweetie. I never leave a person frowning.
Aw. Yeah, Puddles is actually smiling. Oh. My heart's breaking. My heart's breaking. Puddles is comforted right now.
Don't let Willie talk to Delilah. He'll start flirting.
I know.
Willie, you have a man at home!
Willie,
It would be
please.
playful.
It's like, honey, there's not much you can do to me as a coin. At least none that I would be consenting to, I guess.
Yeah.
He'd offer a little kiss. Just a little kiss.
That's harmless enough.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Puddles has a new project.
A new project.
Back at it again at Krispy Kreme. Puddles back flipping into the soul coin to break it open.
Oh, and she's got to do more than that because now she knows the danger of contracts.
Yeah. Still. This is her chance to get it right, and not with a bastard.
Right, yeah.
No, wait, Puddles. the whole conversation went about the opposite of that.
Oh no!
Sorry, guys. This is how she is.
Self-redemption for comfort reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I guess even in the worst case scenario, she just keeps the Delilah coin for company.
For now, she's going to keep it unless she can find a plan. She's not going to just let her out, but she's going to see if she can do something about the contract.
Valid, because Delilah is fun. I like Delilah.
Yeah!
New party friend! But
New
this one
party
can't be in
friend.
combat, so Dermis doesn't have to keep track of her in combat like
Nope.
Right.
he does
Delilah-
with Anais.
Like all our other 5 million NPCs we adopt.
And
Now we just need to go back and find Barnaby.
Yeah!
and Delilah's voice gives me a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Yeah, you have magically cheered Puddles up. Puddles was doing really bad. Most of the week I was like, I don't know if Puddles is going to be very playable for a while. But Delilah helped.
The Delilah flower the flower guarantee.
Everyone is eating dinner and we're all just like, I miss Puddles.
Really? You don't have any other conversation before Puddles joins the crew?
Okay, so
Yep,
sure.
we're all just talking about how much we miss her.
I was going to say, anyone else want to
Accurate.
do something?
No, I want to see my baby girl.
Okay.
Willie is eating, and he just looks sad because he misses Puddles.
Oh
Okay,
my
well, you better
gosh.
give the people what they want, I guess.
I guess so. So.
Puddles, Puddles, Puddles.
Puddles, Puddles.
So, you know how she is after soaking in a bathtub. She comes to the group sopping wet, wearing all her clothes, and they're just soaking wet because she doesn't dry off before she puts her clothes back on.
Sweetie, do you not have a towel?
Wait, hang on. Wouldn't that make her more dangerous, though? Like, wouldn't that make it so that her clothes just didn't help at all?
Grung poison's funny, I guess.
This is how I have played her since the start of the game. She is
And-
Alright, that doesn't mean I can't question it later.
well, don't touch it. Don't touch the drips.
Well, you see,
Oh, the drip?
you see, the reason is a wizard did it.
She's
There you go.
dripping wet.
She's yo, Puddles got that drip on though.
She approaches the group, but she kind of pauses a little bit shyly, sort of outside of it, and kind of like looks at everybody, a bit unsure about joining the group after everything that happened.
Everybody aggressively patting on the ground next to them. Sit down, sit down, sit down.
They all pat like different spots.
Willie motions over like, hey, you're just in time. Look, we got plenty of food left. Get over here.
Aw. Who is she closest to?
It's your favorite. Me.
I guess that
Should I roll?
you can roll.
I'll roll. Who wants to be each number?
We can just go bottom up. 1.
A 2.
Wee.
So just one.
How do I
It's a
do this?
D3. You can. Yeah. It's D3.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Will that work?
I guess that did not work.
Did not work.
That did not.
Oh no.
That's okay. Well, it's remember it's slash roll.
I have to relearn this. There we go.
1 D3.
2. That was Enzo?
Enzo.
Enzo.
She. Oh my
Keep
gosh, she's
closer.
being bold. Wow. She sits next to Enzo.
Willie and Olga cry. No I'm kidding.
Oh,
Enzo smiles and flips off Willie and Olga.
wow.
Wow.
Bastard.
Yes,
Oh, it's a
he
fight
won.
now.
Willie leans closer to Olga. He leans against her. He hugs her. His face is in her tits.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa!
Alright. You, us two against those two. It's PvP time.
Enzo puts his tail around Puddles, and he doesn't do anything more because he respects her.
Puddles is immediately like beet red.
Back in Canon Land, though.
She's actually still blushing a little bit and kind of gives some little side glances while she reaches out for some food.
Oh, he doesn't say anything.
And then their hands touch because they were both reaching at the same time.
If you want her to freak out.
No, kisses her,
It
but
has to
doesn't because I
eventually
respect
happen.
her.
It has to eventually happen.
Aw.
Listen, we've talked about it, and
We have.
you've got the signs. I've also told you Enzo's not gonna just fucking pick her up.
I know.
Puddle's gotta give something.
A sinkhole suddenly appears. Enzo, grab her.
Of course. Oh, but wait, Puddles, would you allow me to grab you, please? As she's falling.
Would he?
Yes, he would. He would absolutely just grab her. Just to save her life.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, Cannonland.
In Canon Land.
I feel very derailed.
Fine.
I would like to say that I imagine that Olga and or Enzo filled Willie in a little bit about what happened while he was helping
Oh, yeah.
make dinner, because he's just like everyone comes back and looks miserable, and he's like, oh god, something fucking happened. I am away from the group for 2 minutes.
Oh.
Everyone's stressed again.
Oh, no.
Mm.
So he has a vague understanding of what happened, at least.
Yep. You are
Yeah.
caught up.
And Puddles does look better than she did when she left, so there's a somberness to her. But
But the-
Willie is gonna probably ask her just, so, how's my favorite gal holding up?
Puddles tries very hard to give Willie a smile. It's a strange looking smile. It's almost more a grimace.
He smiles right back in like a way that is like completely understanding, just like, yeah, it's rough.
All she says is, I have the stomach to eat food now.
Well, that's good. You better fill up then. I helped make it. And I'll
bet
be
it's-
very sad if you don't like it, so you better like it. And you better tell me how good it is, because I am very much a great cook, I promise you.
How good is hellboar meat?
If Anais did exactly her job right,
Uh-huh.
it should be basically kind of like Korean pork, but a little bit more spicy.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Did she do her job right?
She did.
When Willie says, like, you better be nice about it and everything, Enzo hums. He's like, it's alright.
He looks offended, and so immediately
Enzo grins.
into his chest, like, just okay.
So
And he sort of just fakes a hand to her chest, fake surprise. It's just Gas like, oh, how dare you insult an Arabelin's cooking?
Enzo shrugs. I could use some salt.
So I don't think that.
Well,
clerics
maybe
get
you
a
can
lot of
fill
meat.
the salt yourself with your saltiness.
Oh! Oh! Yeah, I don't think clerics get access to a lot of meat. It's pretty normal in churches to eat pretty lean. So her eyes probably light up at this much tasty meat. And she starts kind of devouring it.
Mm-hmm.
See? Look at that. Puddles appreciates cuisine.
You hear the coin sort of reach out to you, and it's just sort of like, these group of people seem nice.
And Puddles, without thinking about how weird it looks, answers right back, this group of people is nice.
Willie blinks like, "Aw, gee, thank you." Out of nowhere, but I appreciate it.
Oh, Puddles holds up the soul coin. This is Delilah.
Oh, you made a friend. Hi, Delilah. And he waves.
She tries to reach out to each of you, so she reaches out to you. Oh, well, charms, little man.
Little man. I'm bigger than you think.
No, oh, no, please, I do not mean to offend.
I'm just teasing.
And let's see. And she tries to reach out to Enzo, but it's like, I guess he doesn't seem to be picking up.
Sorry, I have a mind shield ring on. Might be.
It's like,
The
Well,
call's not going through. Have you
Well-
told him to set up his voicemail?
So essentially. So, she just sort of turns to Puddles and just sort of like, well, tell him that he seems kind. And it's a pleasure to meet him, I guess.
And Puddles echoes those exact words to Enzo.
Enzo just smiles and like nods to the coin. Says, "Pleasure to meet you, as well as we're able."
I can see why you have a little bit of a crush on this one.
Puddles turns beet red! And her head just raises to the sky, and she just sort of stares for a minute.
When Puddles reacts that way, after Enzo just said something to the coin, he looks at her, like raises his eyebrow and says, "What? Did I say something wrong?"
No, you're fine. You are perfectly perfect in every way. Puddles, stop talking!
Enzo smile grows.
I'll certainly say. Yeah, he is fine.
Willie is looking between them, and he's got the shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, "Yeah, Enzo's fine, huh?"
Oh my gosh! She's like covering her head now and kind of kicking her feet.
Darling, it's fine. Darling, it's fine. Okay, I'll control myself. And let's see. Oh, and who's this beautiful one? I thought I was the only flower here, but apparently I was mistaken. And she points her presents more to Olga.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Oh!
Oh, well, I hope so.
Imagine getting rizzed by a coin.
Willie looking between the coin and Olga like, are you flirting?
Well, I mean, it's not a problem, is it?
Gonna make me a little jealous.
No, there's plenty of the flower to go around. Puddles, can we trade coins?
Puddles is just like aware now that everyone's just aggressively flirting, and her face is still just buried.
Well, I suppose so that way my owner is a little bit more comfortable, I guess.
Puddles goes a little rigid at that.
Or, I guess now friend.
Yes.
Sorry.
Nobody owns anybody here.
Call it an old coin habit, I guess.
Puddles frowns but nods.
Willie kind of smiles at Puddles and Delilah and is kind of just like, oh, it's nice to have another friend. We've got a whole huge party going on here. We got Anais and Lulu and Loopsy and all us and you now. We ought to throw a party sometime with banners and balloons and all that.
Out here?
Maybe not out here, but maybe when we get back home.
If you need a recommendation, sweetie, go to Waterdeep and ask for Phillips.
Ooh.
Tell them Delilah sent you.
Ooh. He looks delighted.
It'll be funny at the very least for him to hear that from a ghost.
Oh.
Oh, honey, I'm allowed to make those sort of jokes.
Willie looks like happy for a moment, and then he looks like a little sad, like not like crestfallen or anything, but like a little bittersweet kind of smile, like. And I will tell you up front, it's because all the flirting has reminded him, oh yeah, I have a boyfriend back home that I haven't heard from in ages because I fucking gave up my one form of communication to be a decent human being.
Aw.
He's sad, he misses his fucking boyfriend, sees Puddles and Enzo having a little blooming romance, and internally is like, God damn it, I miss my boyfriend and his big tits.
Oh, Willie.
Oh god, this party.
Really?
Even after bad stuff, now they're all kind of feeling better. I'm glad about it. I was worried going into this because I'm like, oh no, I don't want this session to be completely depressing.
Thank heavens for Delilah.
That's the Delilah the Flower guarantee. Never leave them frowning.
So Puddles has a pocket friend to keep her from becoming too depressed anymore.
Yay! Now it's not entirely Willie's job.
Yeah, that'll be
Willie
nice.
was kind of taking that on. He was
Yeah,
like,
that was gonna
I need my friends to be okay.
That would have been too much for him.
You'll have to tell me how the beef tastes. Or, I guess this is pork.
It's pork, I think.
Hellbore. Last I checked from the quills. I made sure to basically baste this thing in holy water. Just to get rid of any of the after effects that come with eating this thing. And thanks to Olga's spice recommendations, I was able to at least... it's an interesting spice. I will have to ask her later where she found such a combination. But it's very good, very savory. And thanks to the hellebore's natural hotness, as it were, it's a little bit on the spicier side.
I'll say, watch this, and then Willie takes a bite and he chews it and he swallows, and then he just burps out a bit of fire.
Oh, please don't do
Little
that.
tune trick.
You're just reminding me of the time I drank an entire bottle of Asmodean Cackler.
Oh, you can do that trick too? I thought it was a Toon exclusive.
No, I think that's more just a party trick that some people from a place called Barovia used to do as some sort of village trick.
Ooh, I gotta meet these people.
I wouldn't recommend. It was a rather gloomy place last I checked.
Interesting.
They're kind of in between rulers right now, I guess.
I think I have a pen pal there.
Ah!
Semi-canon, semi-not.
Right.
Wink.
So now the question is, what does our party do after? Does this count as a rest of any kind?
Yes, long rest specifically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby, let's go, long rest.
Long rest. Let me put my hit points back and get my spells and close this picture of sad Puddles because she feels better. Pull up the happier Puddles picture. Yes, I have pictures of Puddles to be in character.
The various mental states that Puddles could be in at any given moment.
I don't have all our expressions, but I do have generalized ones. Okay. I gotta admit, I like having Puddles' clumsy, shameless flirting. It's fun.
Well, I mean, Delilah is not subtle.
Yeah,
It's not in her occupation to be subtle.
that's true.
Well, I mean, she's subtle in only the ways that it counts.
I guess the question now is, what happens next?
Yeah.
Well, it is, I would say, due to you all doing a long rest, you all basically kind of go into, you set up camp to go to sleep. So you either sleep in the demon grinder or, you sleep in whatever states of rest that you do.
Puddles goes back into her tub, actually. That's where she tends to sleep. She keeps the soul coin on the edge
What
of her
did
tub.
you say?
Willie sleeps, but he's curled up like a doggy.
No. Yar.
Enzo sleeps like Family Guy dead post.
Enzo.
Thank God. Olga
He
sleeps
doesn't,
face
but
down.
he does.
Olga sleeps face down, sarcophagus style. Oh wait, she doesn't sleep. She meditates face down, sarcophagus style.
We love
No one
meditation.
will ever know.
Well, I will say that as you all sleep, Annie does get up in the middle of the night and sort of walks out just far away enough outside of camp just to sort of keep a good distance away, but not too far of a distance away.
Olga reads her surface thoughts again.
Oh.
Okay,
Number 15.
so her surface thoughts are worry. Should I do this? I can't do this. I have to do this. I don't want to do this. There has to be a way to not do what I have to do. And as she's a distance away, you kind of, her thoughts turn to her coin, just sort of, she's playing with it in her hand, just sort of thinking what to do. And then she looks to her arm. If I don't do something, it'll only get worse. She feel the surface thought of, I have to give them a report. She stops and she hesitates. He can wait on his damn report. And she goes back to the camp. And she goes back to resting.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Oh. Is Olga still gonna just sit on this stuff?
She continues to lay face down.
And he just sort of looks at that and it's just sort of, Still reading the surface thoughts. Should I flip her, or is she able to breathe?
She suddenly lets out like a loud snoring sound.
Just
She's meditating, not sleeping.
No, but she has to. Doesn't she have to like look like she's sleeping so Anais doesn't know?
Meditative snore.
you know what? It is probably for the best I don't think about it. So she goes back into her knapsack and sleeps. It is the
A
next
wise
morning.
choice. Never touch a meditating Eldred.
So it is the next morning.
Yay! Gonna fill up on breakfast boar if there's any left.
Well, as you get up, you see that Anais is the first one to get up.
Mm.
And she summons her elk again. And she sort of is preparing for another hunt. Okay, let's see. The birds should be up in the morning. If I catch a couple, I might be able to raise a couple of nests. Maybe they might have some eggs.
I would say that Olga, like she only needed 4 hours, so she was
Yep.
probably up early enough to
Yeah.
breakfast.
Ah, yep. So, Olga, you do see Anais sort of prepping. You're the first to see her. Ah, Olga. Did you sleep well?
Oh, I don't sleep. I meditate, but I did do it well, thank you. Did you? She makes eye contact.
And she's like, you know, for the first time in a while, I think I have.
That's good. I'm glad. And she goes back to she's preparing like stuff for breakfast.
You know, I could use some help gathering a little bit of the breakfast accoutrement if you are willing and able.
Oh, what do you have in mind?
Well, it might be good to have a second pair of eyes to track down some of the Avernian ravens there. They're about the only bird here, but they tend to have okay meat, and their eggs tend to be pretty good.
If it's anything like the ravens I've eaten, then I'm looking forward to it.
We're too far into the eastern sides to find any of the fowl. And I'm not prepared to try to eat imp, so...
I will not eat imp. Well, maybe a taste, but I will not enjoy it.
It is probably for the best, is that when you get into the larger devils, their meat is quite foul. So roll a survival check. Time to roll survival checks.
Wahoo!
I'll roll Anais's. Nope, she fucked that up. She straight up just screwed that up.
That's okay. I rolled a nat 20.
Oh.
So Anais is having a bit of a time. She's just sort of merit. And she's just trying to shoot her. She's trying to shoot a bow, but is just missing. Merit. Merit. Merd! It's been so long since I shot a damn bow. But you just kind of come along and just, with your crossbow, you just sort of just shoot down 4 ravens just easily.
Hunger helps me hunt.
And in your hand, you just have like, in your hand, you also have a nest filled with the eggs.
Help me gather these.
Oh, okay. Annie smiles.
Ooh, everyone's gonna be so happy. I don't think we've had eggs in a while.
Yes, they should be good. We should make sure, though, to once we pluck feather and do the preparations with these, we should boil these and make sure, or at least dip them into the holy water.
Yeah, I don't want to boil them. I want to fry them up. But yeah, let's dip them in holy water and get these ready.
Thanks again for helping with the hunt.
Thank you. My breakfast wouldn't have been as good without all this. Wait, our breakfast.
Aw.
Yes, our breakfast. And Anais just sort of blushes and smiles at that. Alright, and I'm guessing everyone else eventually wakes up, and you all wake up to the sounds of frying birds and frying eggs.
Yeah, hearty breakfast.
Willie's little sniffer's going off. He's walking in, following his nose. He's doing a
Better
little
get your nipple over here,
he's doing
too.
a little he's gonna do the cartoon little float where he's like floating, following along a scent with his nose.
Oh my god, yes.
Aw.
You all are awake. Let's see. Well, Olga showed me a little bit of another recipe for the bird. I suppose it is similar to how you would cook a fowl, which I was surprised she knew. Usually that's more of an Arabellan thing, but I guess.
There's fowl around the world.
But I am ignorant of such things. And she just sort of smiles. I'm glad to grow my repertoire, I guess, in that regard. But go ahead and eat up, everyone. I made sure to give everyone their proper portions. Last I checked, I think Enzo's going to be doing most of the bulk of the work, so I made sure to give him a little bit more. As well as Willie, since both of you seems to be a little bit more of the physical hitters.
Aw, I'm special. I get the big boy portions. And he's very happy.
Puddles is taking in the side of the meal and is a little bit jealous.
Oh, I would not be cackling so much, my friend. After this, we are still going to continue your training.
Yeah, Enzo smiles and laughs.
What?
Oh,
I'm
he
a
speaks.
good. I'm a like a full-fledged paladin now. I don't need more trick. And he's eating.
Olga gives Puddles a little bit of the leftover pork. With her meal.
Ah, Puddles is grateful. She's like giving a happy wiggle as she eats.
It's been freshly rewarmed and everything.
Oh heck yeah!
Oh, don't worry, Enzo. You'll get yours soon enough.
Oh.
And I oop.
And you whoop. And the Delilah coin glows up again. It's sort of like, these folks seem fun.
I love this party. This is the best group. These are like my best friends now.
I've met a couple of adventuring groups in my time, and that seems to be the relationship a lot of the time with good ones.
And she's happy. She's like, yeah, this is a really good group.
Plus, they always did tip nice.
She sputters.
I want to say say that Willie has Gargunth out and is like, "Can you smell? Can you eat? You? I don't think you can eat, but can you smell? Do you like the smells?"
Okay.
Oh, he's preparing.
Yep.
Well, because I now have to talk like this. This is unusual. I don't usually cook this meat in this way. Back in my day, we usually just ate the meat raw.
Well, was it yummy?
For a devil palate, it was... I remembered it being sufficient. Though I'd have tended to feast more on the heads of my enemies.
Oh, big boy appetite. Well, when we free you from the shield sometime, we ought to show you how these meals are made, because they're very, very good.
Gargunth is sort of confused by that, and just sort of like,
Wait, you plan to free me?
Puddles actually pipes up too.
Well,
She's like, "Oh, are we freeing him?"
well, I'd like to at some point.
and Gargunth is still confused, like,
You are aware of who I am, right?
I am.
You're our teammate. I don't know if she can hear him actually.
yeah, Gargunth isn't. He's
No, I feel like, yeah.
he's extending his presence to, and he's just letting that presence go. He's not being silent or particularly secret.
When Puddles says that, Willie just smiles like, "Yep, that's exactly who you are."
And you would do that regardless.
Well, yeah.
And everyone here is okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
And he shrugs. Lulu's kind of a little, but she relents.
What do the other team members think?
Loopsy kind of just goes with whatever Willie's doing.
What did he say he was gonna do?
Free him. Free Gargunth.
Oh,
I'll go fine with that.
yeah. Enzo just shrugs like, I trust Willie's judgment. Oh wait, Enzo doesn't hear anything because he has his mind
Yes,
reading on. Enzo continues eating.
Aww.
I think we've said before that Enzo can twist his ring a little and
Yeah.
let certain people in.
He can
So-
adjust the
Yeah, I
frequency.
thought he's been hearing Gargunth this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, I do that as a joke. So,
It's tuned to Gargunth.
in Canon Land, I mean, Enzo has long since sort of attuned his ring to sort of allow folks like Gargunth, and I guess if he wanted to, Delilah, to do that.
Yeah, you should adjust for Delilah. Join in on these fun conversations.
He will, because she's apparently talking about him.
But
Oh no.
Oh, that is odd. To this day, I'm still surprised you all haven't just sent me to another dimension, as others had suggested to do, if I remember correctly.
Well, you've been a real big help. And, you know, it's just nice to have you around.
in the back of Gargunth's head, he's just sort of like,
Am I on a devil prank show? Is fucking Mamon hiding behind a curtain?
but once he realizes that no, they are not joking.
Huh. I suppose I have a lot to contemplate then.
Puddles casually between bites. Do we have any idea how to free him?
From what it is told, I believe some sort of spell called Dispelling Good and Evil does so, though the chances of such are very low.
Dispel good and evil. I have Dispel magic. I can poke around to see what I've got.
I'm afraid it needs to attune to the forces of good and evil. Merely an arcane dispelling is not going to do it.
Is that a cleric spell? Let me see.
Though I suppose another way would be to convince another devil to do it. Though you would have even less chances in that regard. My compatriots do not think highly of me.
Puddles is flipping through her cleric book. I think I can use it. I just have to prepare it.
Well, shoot. I guess we could give that a shot. In the meantime, you mind staying my trusty shield a little longer, bud?
For now. But
He is finding difficulty to try to say the words.
thank you.
Question mark.
It's like, oh, you're welcome, buddy. And he gives like an awkward side hug to this big shield that he has.
You're-
I wish you guys could see his expressions. Garguth is very awkward right now.
Yep, he is very awkward.
Well, I believe we should get moving.
Yeah, you got a point. He will look to Olga like, do you want to keep driving?
Oh yeah, I can keep going.
I drive, but you don't want to see what tunes get like when they drive a car.
I was gonna ask if you could even reach the pedals, but I've seen you stretch out.
But yeah, of course I can. He's miffed.
She baps him on the shoulder gently.
He crosses his arms and huffs.
Oh, I know you're a big man.
Very big man. Very. And he wiggles his eyebrows at Olga.
Puddles is trying to
Wow.
ignore it.
I'll do it.
Alright.
I don't know how to flirt back. I'm bad at flirting.
So you all. So unless any of you all have anything else you want to do before entering the Demon Grinder. Yes, honey? Did you want to do something?
Maybe. I don't know. Should I do it? Should I do it, guys? It would be more.
Yes, if you want to.
Puddles putting her foot in her mouth, basically. Is that a phrase? That might be a phrase. Willie and Olga are doing like weird flirty things, and Puddles looks at Enzo. It's like, about last night. He leaned over close.
Oh no, this is me just like... You feel the presence of Delilah kind of behind your back, just sort of... With her hand on her chin, just sort of waiting.
Oh no.
I love Puddles. She says that, and he smiles, and he tries not to like have too much of a shitty grin. he doesn't want to tease her too much, but he does smile and says, "Yes. What about last night?"
I mean, that wasn't weird, right? That wasn't too weird. Nothing weird happened. Things aren't like weird or awkward. You don't see me as weird, right? Things aren't awkward between us or anything.
Remember to take a deep breath.
Can Willie's ear lift at this conversation happening?
I mean, you hear muffled stuff. I don't know if Willie's actively listening.
She didn't pull him aside.
Yeah,
so...
you're just kind of in the you're
Yeah, I
in the
feel like
breakfast circle. You're just kind of
Olga and Willie quietly super fucking listening.
it's just the breakfast circle.
They're like not actually having a conversation with each other. They're just kind of like pretending a little bit, but they're both clearly like looking over like from the side of their eyes. But Enzo just chuckles a little and he says, "No, I don't think you're weird at all, Puddles. Nothing's awkward."
She's like beet red just from him talking.
He says, "All you did was pay me a few compliments, and, you know, that's what friends do for each other. Give each other compliments, like you telling me how fine and perfect I am, and how I might tell you how cute you look when you blush like that."
Olga quietly shaking Willie like.
Willie is also shaking Olga like, oh.
Yeah, like friends do.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing well, sweetie. Just keep paying attention to him.
Okay, she's...
Delilah, like, rubbing her shoulders like you would a boxer in a ring.
She gives a very brief glance down where the coin is, and then keeps looking up at Enzo like...
Keep eye contact.
She's doing
Slight
that.
Smile.
She gives the most weird, awkward smile.
Just relax. Give him a slight smile. There you go.
Okay, I can't do this anymore. She runs away.
It's just like, honey, as your emotional support coin. She kind of, you feel the presence of her. She's like, go turn back.
Delilah.
She runs away, and Enzo.
She
looks
pauses.
at-
No, she pauses at Delilah doing that,
Oh,
and you just
okay.
see her shriek at the coin.
Doesn't say anything. He's just like, "I'll wait."
Willie is just glad that Enzo is like wising up, because the thing that Willie remembers is the time when he had to like, he literally motioned for Enzo to like call Puddles like pretty, and then he didn't, and then Willie had to do it.
Yeah, when Puddles
to call Puddles pretty.
when Puddles said she'd been called pretty once, that's what she was referring to.
Oh, kisses her.
Well,
And now she's been called cute.
Now she's been called cute
By her crush.
by her crush. She's freaking out.
but Delilah, you feel the presence of what would feel like someone tapping your shoulder, as she's sort of like, Well, whenever you feel like getting ready again, sweetie. If it makes you feel any better, you did fine. Although, with him, I'd imagine it's okay for you to relax a little bit. Trust me, sweetie. I can tell. He's open to it, at least.
She's frustrated. She glances over at Enzo.
Don't worry, this conversation is just between you and me, sweetie. We coins have the ability to block others out. If we don't need them to hear our conversation. You don't need to say anything, by the way. But just remember to relax next time.
She gives a very slight nod. And gives this very awkward sort of wave to Enzo because she was looking back at him and then hurries away.
He just smiles and he waves at her. Like he doesn't push anything more. He doesn't tease her anything. She can run away. It's fine. This is her speed.
Yeah. Oh, he's such a good man.
And then he looks directly at Olga and Willie.
Willie is staring right back at Enzo.
He just shrugs a little with his
Oh!
smile.
Willie gives Enzo a little thumbs up. Or better yet, he does like the okay hand, like
Okay.
nice.
Oh, good. There's two double thumbs up.
Aw. Little frog crush on big lizard man. That was fun to play.
That was cute.
This is gonna be hard though because I don't know how to flirt. You guys didn't see the awkwardness of me trying to flirt with Dermis.
It's okay. I don't really know how to either. I don't know where that line came from, to be perfectly honest.
I just get friendly and people say that I'm flirting, and I'm like, what the fuck? Being nice is flirting? God.
Although Delilah does now kind of turn to each party member, she does sort of stop at Olga and look. So what's the deal with that one, out of curiosity? And she's asking Puddles.
About Olga?
Yep.
What do you mean?
Oh, sweetie, I'm sorry, I forgot. You're a little dense to this. It's okay. I guess I kind of have to be a little blunt.
Oh no, I don't know. Am I dense?
Well, is she available, do you think?
I guess you ask her?
I guess I would. A thought for later, I guess.
I guess let me know if you ever want me to pass your coin to her.
I'm close enough within reach.
Okay.
Oh, don't mind me, sweetie. You go on ahead and do your thing.
Puddles gives this sort of awkward, I'm making a joke and I'm not comfortable with it laugh. We could do a double date.
Oh, sweetie. Oh, come on. Delilah has no off button.
This is too fun. Puddles is hiding in the car.
And you see, I'm guessing Willie sets up Gargunth in the side seat.
as always.
I don't know why I suddenly thought I heard side seat, and I suddenly thought of like one of those baby high chairs.
Oh my gosh, Gargoyle's baby high chair!
You put a sippy near me and you die. No.
Somebody's quinky.
I am not Quinky.
You want me to get you some more water?
That's okay. I think for now, I'll lay off the Gargoyle voice a little bit. So yeah, you all continue on.
I saw you roll.
I did. That'll be for what this encounter is next. So as you continue down the road, you do start to see signs, like street sign, like actual road signs as you pass by. Something about the Golden Bull. But eventually, you just see a tiny little person as you're speeding forward. Just this tiny, simple fella, just smiling with his hands behind his back as you're speeding towards him.
Sure.
You gotta stop the car!
I mean, wait, hang on. She's not gonna just like run into someone.
Nope. I certainly wouldn't hope you would.
She can like turn the car a little bit and you know, slow down a little, but
So, as you do, this fella does kind of make an effort to sort of reach his hand out and stop your car mid-movement. Like, you see this tiny guy grab the tip of the demon grinder and make it stop to a halt.
and Olga dies immediately.
No, I mean, he just sort of... Oh,
Also, what the fuck? There's no way she'd swerve that close to him. That'd be so fucked up.
He came out of
Nope.
fucking nowhere! Almost turned him into roadkill!
sorry, I should... But anyways, he just sort of laughed. Oh, thank goodness you stopped there. I would have thought that you would have just continued on. Excuse me, howdy there. If whoever's driving wouldn't mind just looking down.
I mean, she can't not look.
And you see this tiny blue devil in very simple clothes, very simple overalls, with golden bull horns coming out of the side of his head. Oh, good, you stopped there. Oh, howdy. So this is going to be a little odd for me to request. But, well, it looks like, I guess I should call him an employer. An employer of mine seeks an audience with you, I guess.
Puddle's peeking.
Oh, well, there's the tiny one. Howdy there.
Who?
Endo also peeking.
Oh, well, you
Lily's peeking.
got a full, yep, you have a full caravan there, aren't you? Well, that's exactly what he said. The boss always does always get his intel quite right in that regard.
Who?
Were you asking there, sweetie, or were you trying to pretend to be an owl there for a second?
Who is your what word did he use?
Boss, I believe was my word. Yes.
Who is your boss?
Oh, right. Well, the big chomping bull is my boss, I guess. He's the operator of the Golden Bull down the road. You probably came across a couple of signs there. But anyway, he's wanting to have an audience with you. If you would be so kind as to accept the offer.
Is there a reason he wants an audience?
Well, I mean, y'all have made quite the infamous reputation among yourselves, and, well, he has been mighty excited to meet y'all. He was
Not
very...
gonna lie, that's not very comforting. We've had a few, she quit air quotes, audiences, and they, gotta say, didn't go super well.
Oh, well, you all seem to be able to handle yourself with that. But I can assure you that, the chomping bull means no harm to you. At least as far as he was willing to tell me.
I don't know, this whiplash. I feel pretty harmed.
Oh, sweetie, you and I both know that is a plumb lie.
Feel like I might need to contact a lawyer.
Well, you'll find plenty of those in Avernus.
He suddenly stopped the car. Olga has whiplash. Period.
Willie's gonna raise his hand like, okay, question, bud.
I might have an answer.
We know you boss. Who are you?
Oh, it's been so many years, I think I might have just plumb forgot what my name was. Well, the boss never really gave me that much of a title. You're gonna have to give me a moment. It's gonna take a bit of a plumb while. Gosh.
Dig through his memories.
What even was I? Oh, right. Sorry. I guess my mortal name was Charlie.
Okay. And
Oh my gosh.
your boss is
Well,
okay.
Yep, that's my boss. Yep.
Okay. And he just wants to talk?
Yep, he just plumb wants to talk to y'all. Mean no harm by it. He was rather insistent that you come.
Fucking Willie's gonna look at the others like, I mean, would it be more trouble to try to run away from it?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I wish you wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't want you to.
Does he just have fucking super hearing? Because we are also still in the car.
He just keeps quiet.
It's being creepy. I love it.
And so, like, looks at the dude. In a second, and then he looks at Willie. Well, I'd say that answers your question.
Alright, I guess it does. Just looking at the party like, alright, I guess we'll go? If everyone's in agreement on that?
Oh, that is plumb great. That is so good to hear from y'all. Well, let's see. Well, you got two options here. Well, you can either mosey onto it in your vehicle. That's more than acceptable. Or I do have a different ride for you to go there if you're willing to accept that. Maybe save you on some fuel.
What's your ride?
Oh, I am so plumb glad you asked. And he snaps his fingers.
No, wait!
Oh
That
no!
wasn't an acceptance!
So you see this huge golden limousine just sort of drive up sort of behind him. It is huge with the biggest shining diamond-studded bullhorns on the hood of the car, just sort of come just driving all in. It is immaculate and sparkling and just the most expensive thing you've ever seen.
Puddles whispers, yeah, it would have been hard to run away, I think.
Well, let's see. Well, I can have someone open the door for you. And he just sort of chops, and you see almost kind of like a clown car sort of effect. You see this huge minotaur sort of just pop right out of the first door of the limousine, and he just sort of opens the door for you to be let in. Opens the door of the limousine.
What
So-
about our car?
Real quick, the implication is either we can drive or we can accept this ride in the big shiny golden limousine. Yeah?
Yep.
And leave our demon grider here.
Well, I mean, it's assumed that one of your NPCs would just drive it and follow it behind.
Oh, okay. So one of the NPCs is staying behind.
Yep.
Wait, that would still use fuel.
I guess it would. Or I guess you could decide to. I'm giving you options. Those are your three that you
Yeah.
can take.
I just want to figure out if our demon grinder is going to be left alone. But if it's not
Yeah,
going
I
to be
would rather.
if it's not going to be left alone, like if it's going to have one of our characters like Anais and Lucy and Lulu still like in
On it.
it,
Mhm.
then I'm okay with that. Just because we have all these fucking soul coins and shit in here.
So, yeah.
Dollar
Yeah, and,
gold.
yeah. I feel like Willie's gonna see the limo and be like, "I want to go in that."
Of course you do.
Well, I'm so glad that you decided on that. You can show Charlie if you want, but that it would be only in his human,
Yes.
it would only be in his human form. I should say that what he is now, he is more blue tiefling looking with giant golden bull horns. So that would be what he would look like now. As well as the fact that he is wearing just kind of the slickest black suit.
Oh, he used to be baby.
He did used to be baby.
Baby boy.
I can see the voice now.
Well, I'm sure Augustus over here is more than happy to guide you on into the limousine if you want.
Willie's hopping down. He's like, "Finally, something worthy of my level of class."
Well, the boss is always sure to please. So let's see. Will your entire caravan will be joining us, or are you leaving a couple of your folks here to guard the thing?
Enzo looks to Anais and Lucy and Lulu in particular.
All three of them nod. Do not worry, nothing will get past me.
So nods.
Yep. Okay. So Augustus, the giant minotaur, just sort of guides each of you in.
Yeah, Puddles is kind of intimidated by the thing, honestly. It's too big and fancy.
So after you all presumably get in, Augustus follows behind you as well as Charlie. As they sort of... The bull magically sort of shrinks down the minute he enters into the limousine to where he can fit.
Okay, I gotta use the restroom. I'm sorry, and I gotta run away.
Go pee. It's okay. Puddles fades back just a tidgeon.
She's intimidated by the car. Let her stay intimidated.
Okay. She fades back. And so you all continue down the road until eventually you see peeking out from the horizon of the... As you come closer, you see peeking out of the horizon this beautiful, golden, immaculate-looking casino-like building. Somehow, you see sort of the facsimile of palm trees sort of around it, though upon closer look at the palm trees, you kind of see that they have like their own sort of weird Avernian twist to them by them being covered in like spikes and clearly not being made of like plant sort of stuff. And all around, you just see nothing but, like, very fancily dressed imps sort of guiding people into the casino while wearing, like, suits. And they're each sort of, like, they're carrying out plates of, like, drinks on saucers in their hands and stuff. And they're just sort of, like... Yeah, it's kinda, but not really. but each of them come in, and each of them, you see them go about doing all of that, and the limousine sort of makes a circle round, parks out in front, and Charlie is the first to step out, and he's just sort of like, well, we're here, the Golden Bull. If you want to just go ahead and follow me, y'all, I'll go ahead and just take you right to him. Unless you're wanting a little bit of a tour.
Willie kind of wants a tour, but he's not gonna ask for it unless his party's okay with it.
Enzo sees Willie's excitement and he just like sighs a little and he nods. Like, go ahead. Ask for the tour. We're already here.
Oh, wait. Ah, shit. I did forget one thing about entering the casino. There is a little bit of a dress code. But don't y'all worry. I can go ahead and fix all that for you. It's been a while since I've casted a spell, but this illusion spell should be simple enough. Hickory-doo, hoka-poka, something or other. Just go ahead and do the spell. And in sort of a poof of very glittery smoke of an illusion spell, you all are also wearing very slick black suits with golden ties. All of you are.
Willie looks himself up and down and he's like, damn, I look good.
Don't worry, y'all. All that is just a very simple illusion spell. The minute you get off the premises of the Golden Bull, that should just go ahead and fade off.
Enzo just kind of like looks at his suit and kind of adjusts it a little, and he's like, "Are sleeves required for this dress code?"
Well, I think it's really just more of a suit and tie sort of event. I guess there's nothing in the rules that says that suit necessarily needs to have sleeves, I guess. Well, I mean, I can go ahead and just make a little bit of an adjustment there. And he just snaps his fingers and your sleeves are gone.
Enzo smiles. It was definitely like half a joke, but also, heck yeah, he'll take it, and he flexes a little.
Alright, any more adjustments y'all need me to make before we just go ahead and mosey on in?
I want to think that Enzo flexed at the exact same time that it was adjusted, so it looked like he flexed the sleeves off.
Yeah.
Let's see, don't worry, the spell should be able to adjust for y'all's different sizes, so.
So everyone's in suits, huh?
Yep, everybody's in suits, including Puddles.
Ugh.
Slick black suits with a golden tie.
Does it feel any different, or it just looks different?
It just kind of feels like you're wearing your normal clothes. Again, this is an illusion spell, so the clothes that you actually feel, that are on you, that is what you would feel. The suit, however, is just kind of like it's an illusion spell. Alrighty then. Well, if everything is all to your liking, you can go ahead and just follow me then. So the first thing and as you step in, the doors just sort of automatically sort of. Okay, and you hear the ding 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 ding, just those sounds of like a very busy casino, just kind of going all around and everything. Well, let's see. The first thing that you're going to come across here is, of course, our slot machines. They are chock-packed in full with the most soul coins that Avernus will be able to provide for you. Or, I guess his adjusted would be the soul chips. They're not quite, but I assure you that they are. Each one is absolutely worth one soul coin. Well, let's see. We do, of course, provide free drinks and free meals for everyone that visits the visits the Golden Bull. And let's see, if you find over there, and he points to the left, and you see just what would be a casino, like restaurant or something, but you see it's just like, it's this twisting buffet table filled with all sorts of various, like, meats that are stabbed and, like, all hell animal looking and everything, and You see open flames just shooting up from the grill, just... Oh, good. Looks like we're just... let's see, I think that we are serving up the golden bird for dinner tonight, so I guess y'all just go ahead and be wary of that. Let's see, if you continue down forward and to the right there, you're going to see... yes, the stage show. And you see this beautiful looking, immaculate stage, and you see... you do see what looks to be sort of a Warforged performer, just sort of doing what sounds like he's doing a comedy act. The one thing you do notice of him, though, is that he is sort of shackled to the stage, literally. Now, don't worry, we have comedy nights every night. We have comedy nights every night for the foreseeable eternity. At least for our compatriot there, T. Comedatron 3000. How you doing over there, buddy? I have not had a drink in ages. Good for you, buddy. Continue on there. Not all the glitters is gold. Not all that glitters is gold. And he sort of just continues on. He shows you, you know, more of the roulette machines, and he finally shows, and let's see, the pride and joy of the boss's operation, of course, is the card tables. We particularly, the most popular game here is, of course, the Nine Hills Centerfold. It's a very special game here in the Nine Hells that is quite popular, especially among our Pit Fiend guests that tend to come in. You know, it's a funny thing. It was on the last week that I was promoted to Pit Fiend. Oh, I know that look y'all are getting me. Oh, but trust me, it's not really all that bad when you spend 1,000 days in burning fire. Hell, that fire by day 984 actually kind of feels like kind of a soft tickle. Oh, but it is a hell at day 387, I'll tell you that much. That is, whoo, right up your bum.
Willie looks worried for the poor guy.
Oh, don't you fret now. It's absolutely the best honor a devil down here can ever get. I guess we all can't be as lucky as the boss. Well, speaking of who, though, and you finally make it into sort of a back area, and you see this, you know, big door in front of you that has, like, this golden bull symbol on the window of the door. If y'all will just follow me. And he just sort of opens the door to let you all in. Okay, y'all, don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Enters.
Yeah. So
Enzo will enter, but last.
Yeah, Puddles is kind of trailing too.
So you step into into an immaculate velvety red office, trimmed with little golden buttons and golden trims everywhere. Yep, we can call it a night. But you see him sort of talking on sort of a golden telephone, just sort of like, yes, and yep. Now come on now, we can't. Okay, yeah. Yes, I know. Yep. As Mammon, baby, come on now. You know I have the supply good for next week. Yep. You'll expect. Oh, okay. Mammon, I'm gonna have to call you back. I have some guests. Yep, I'll be sure to do it. Yeah, okay, you too. And so he turns to all of you. Come in, take a seat. Can I offer you a cigar? And you see,
Willie is intimidated.
When you turn around, you see this big gentleman. Just this big, huge gentleman with huge golden horns and a row of shark teeth just sort of poking out of it, just sort of poking out from his lips, and sort of like they are almost exploding out of his mouth, but are still contained in.
Oh no, he's so hot.
Olga accepts the cigar.
Enzo politely declines the cigar.
Willie accepts the cigar.
Puddles declines. Oh my.
All right, suit yourself, suit yourself. Suit yourself. And it is hard to do a Jim Cummings impression. Trying my best. So, you all have made quite the noise down here. It's impressive. I take it you're the ones that took down that, fuck, I forget who that Alhoun was called. He was a chump. Took him down pretty easy, though. Nice work, by the way. Oh, but I suppose we should sort of cut the pleasantries and sort of skip right down to the nitty-gritty of it. I can tell by the direction that you're heading to the scab, correct?
We might be.
Oh, it very well seems like you are. Well, if that is the case, then you're the ones that are trying to go after that sword, correct? The one that the big boss used to own. The boss on this level, not my boss, of course.
Seems like you already know a lot.
Oh, honey, I have eyes and ears everywhere.
And you don't really need our confirmation on what our plans are.
No, but I do wish to sort of extend an offer. You see, the way things work here in Avernus, right? Now, I don't exactly know what you plan on doing with Zariel. But I do know that whatever you're actually planning on doing with Zariel, it is going to require her being out of her seat. And the minute she's out of her seat, well, you're gonna get one hell of a power vacuum. A big one. A dangerous one if left unchecked for too long. Now, obviously, for someone of my business and for someone of my occupation, that's just not going to be good. For anyone. Especially to my profits. So, I wanted to offer my services in that regard. It's going to be difficult, after all, for all of you to face Zariel on your own. For him to even... It's like for you to even last a few seconds with her. It's going to take some power to keep her occupied. Depending on how you plan on going about it, of course. I'm not going to assume what your plans are. But I guess what I'm offering is my resources. The entirety of all the resources that I can offer here at the Golden Bull.
Sir, let's get one thing clear before this conversation goes any further. Are you offering your resources, or are you selling your resources? Because an offer implies you're being generous enough to gift them to us without anything expected in return.
Well, of course. And it's a very simple price. One that I'm sure that... Well, I'm going to assume none of you are wanting to take that position. So, it is with a heavy heart, but with a great responsibility that I offer to take the position instead. To take Zariel's seat. After all, someone's going to need to rule Avernus for that time, and I plan on offering a little bit of stability to this crazy level of hell. It's needed one for quite some time, after all, especially with her being so obsessed with that blood war of hers, with those demons running around, and her doing that incredibly rash and frankly stupid idea of bringing mortal planes and cities into Avernus, which, quite frankly, is a logistical nightmare for anyone like me, I can tell you that much. And that would absolutely be something I would never do, to be frank. Now, I know that what I'm asking is quite big. It's quite a big... Oh, what's that phrase that those mortals in that one plane say? Oh yes, a big ask. It's a big ask. But I think you'll find it's quite the reasonable one. And you're not going to find any more of a reasonable candidate than me. I said, sorry,
You
you'll have to...
did. You absolutely said ask. I'm being an ass.
So he takes a puff out of his... He takes a big drag of his cigar, blows out a smoke ring, and is just sort of like, so, are you willing to make a deal?
Willie's gonna look at Enzo and then at Puddles and at Olga. He's like looking at them because he's... One, he is puffing the cigar. Two, he looks very thoughtful about this.
Enzo will say then, you said you didn't like that she was bringing in mortal cities into the realm. So what you're saying is, if you were sitting on the seat, then one major change would be that no longer happening. And because you don't like them being here, you would be promising to return them to the mortal realm.
Oh,
Is that
absolutely.
correct?
Oh, absolutely. That's the first thing I would do. I would immediately sever the chains and bring them straight back to their planes of existence.
That's good. That sounds like something that we would all be in agreement for. Now, how can we trust that's actually what you would do once you take the throne? Pardon, my straightforwardness here, but to be frank, we don't know you, and we don't really have any reason to believe anything you're telling us.
Well, I suppose that is true. You wouldn't. But I am a very straightforward man when it comes to my deals. You, of course, would be more than welcome to read the contract before any sort of signing. I'm not that much to put on the pressure. As much as most people would assume that I would.
We have to sign a contract.
Well, it's really a formality here in Avernus, sweetie. It's just what is done here to keep things moving, to keep the gears in Avernus moving. Contracts have to be signed to make sure that everyone plays their part.
Or
Then we
until
start-
one person decides to betray the other.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hear an old man fart suddenly?
Oh.
Excuse me.
Willie squints like, hey, don't be mean. We're here to be civil, ain't we?
Relax. It was merely a joke on my end. Come on, old man. Have a bit of a sense of humor. You had that in your time, didn't you?
There's a little bit of a problem with this proposition. And it's nothing with you at fault. It's that what we plan may not cause a power vacuum.
Hmm. Well, far be it from me to ask exactly what you're planning. I mean, I could make a couple of guesses. I mean, there's the very obvious one that I would do, which would be to snuff out that little angel into a bloody pulp. But there is the heftier, more work-involved one, which would be to appeal to her better sense of morals or whatever that happens to still be left in. And sure, you can do that and try that, and I'm sure that would make everyone feel light and fluffy and filled with butterflies. But do you really think she's going to stay here after that? After she's all goody-goody and in her celestial bubbliness? I mean, if I were to make a guess, she'd fly off into the sunset, never to come back. At least that's what I would do if I had a one-way ticket to Celestia. Not that I would ever want to set foot in that plane. Ugh, it's not my style.
Well, I wasn't thinking of turning her into a celestial, just, you know.
But my point is that either way, there isn't going to be an ass in that seat. And an ass needs to be in that seat. You're not going to find anyone more qualified than me. I'm offering you a straightforward deal.
Puddles looks uncomfortably at the rest of the group.
I don't know if I'm interrupting somebody.
Go on in. Go on in.
I think Enzo would just say, let's say for a moment, you're correct. Our plan involves a power vacuum. Someone's ass needs to go in that seat. What say we don't agree to your terms? And we decide you're not necessarily the ass we want to guarantee. Would we be free to leave?
Good question.
Well, I suppose that's going to be decided on who else you decide to piss off. After all, I'm not the only pit fiends that would be looking to get into that seat.
Oh, I just want to clarify that's what Enzo was saying. Enzo is basically saying, like, are we allowed to not take this deal with you? Are we allowed to leave here now?
But
sorry,
but
I don't think
if
I worded
you
that correctly.
Right, but if you do decide to leave the Golden Circle, blank contract as it were, you're free to do so. After all, I made the extension. It's parlay, I guess. Is that the pirate term? You're not allowed to harm anyone that parlays. It's been a while since I've had to deal with that sort of client. So, but yes, if you do decide to not take my very generous offer, you're free to leave and go about your quest in whatever sort of glittery butterfly way you want to do. I would only say that I would wish you luck, I guess, in getting out of Avernus. After all, I have the easier key. If it were my ass in the seat, I'd give you a simple plane shift spell, and Bob's your uncle, you're out of this plane in an instant. Again, only if my ass were in that seat, I guess. I can't say if, the likes of Belle or, I don't know, that stupid orange frog that's been making a lot of noise would do it.
Puddles blinks.
Enzo nods. He says, you're making a very compelling offer. But I will say, I think this is something we just need to think on for just a little more. If we could have a copy of that contract you'd want us to sign to read over while we perhaps took a look around your casino, got a sense of things to make sure of what we want to do. I think just a little time to think on it and perhaps discuss privately without others listening in, and if Charlie is in the room, he glances at Charlie. That'd be appreciated.
Oh, y'all don't kind of mind me. I'm just kind of standing here just minding my own business.
Minds Charlie aggressively.
Yes, I understand that. And you see another giant minotaur sort of, kind of come up next to him, and he brings out a suitcase, opens it to you, and within it is a big old scroll with a quill. And that bull takes he takes out the scroll and hands it to you. If you were to unopen it, if you were to unroll it, you would see a contract.
Enzo takes it.
Yeah.
But if I were to put a little bit of sugar into this little honey pot, I do have something else that I'm sure you in particular, Enzo, would be quite interested in hearing.
I hate that he knows their names.
Yeah, he knows his name, and Enzo, like, glances up and he says, "Oh? Spill."
Word around Avernus is you're looking to get back at your old gang, particularly that of Don Kurz, if that name rings a bell.
Enzo doesn't react immediately, but like, I think he's holding the scroll with one hand, and it clenches ever so slightly before he kind of like switches it to the other hand to like fidget and not make that action so obvious. This is interesting word to get around Avernus. A little bit of, salt from little old me.
Well, I can add a little bit of sugar to that salt if you are interested. I know, or at least I have the means to open his cell so that you could get to it first. And of course, I do have this little number. And he pulls out this tiny red gem.
Rubies aren't quite my style.
Oh, but you're going to love what this thing does. This little thing, it's used in the making of soul coins, if you can believe it. And you can imagine that in the process of making soul coins, not every soul's worth saving. Not every soul is able to pay that price. And so it's these little numbers, these little gems. These are used to destroy souls. Completely and utterly. All you need to do is grip this thing tight, close to Don Kurz. And he'll be buckling onto his knees, begging in pain before he meets his fiery end in oblivion.
And so he doesn't say anything, but he stares hard at that gem as he fidgets with the scroll. But then he just smiles and he says, "Well, interesting little addition. We will go ahead with continuing our tour then, and we'll consider it."
Fantastic. And he just takes the gem into his hand and plucks it and puts it into his own pocket. I'll be sure to go ahead and keep a hold of this, though. Wouldn't want this to go missing. And this, of course, will be given, after you've signed. Anyways, you're free to go. Enjoy the buffet. Enjoy the slot machines. Have fun. enjoy yourselves. The Golden Bull and all it has to offer is open to you, of course. And, of course, if you wish to leave, you just can go ahead, call for Charlie. He can roll up a limousine for you. As for me, you will have to excuse me. I have some other business that I have to attend to, but anyways, this has been pleasant. I do hope we meet again. Then he extends his very gargantuan hand out to each of you for a handshake.
Willie's gonna be polite and shake his hand. He was given a cigar by this big fella.
His soul's already taken.
Yeah, quite the grip there, little one. All right. And
So will also take his hand though.
gives it to
Olga.
Olga.
Olga does not take the handshake, but she holds her hand out for a kiss instead. She knows better than to shake hands right now.
So, he leans down over and does give. There you go. Ooh, keep being fancy like that, and you're gonna make me think I'm in my stint in Arabelle again.
She winks at him.
Puddles. Aw.
Adorable. And you, little froggy?
Puddles keeps her hands to herself and just says, sort of deadpan, "I'm poisonous."
Dear, that's going to do nothing to me.
She gives him a long look, and still she takes out a glove and puts it on her hand before she offers it to him, like, not happy.
He makes sure to make a point of grabbing it and holding your hand tight and smiling. Just to show that your poison does nothing to him.
She is wearing a glove. She puts on a glove before she offers it. She doesn't want him to show off that he's immune.
Ah, okay. So, but he does make a point to grip onto that hand tightly. Anyways, enjoy.
Alright, let's get the fuck out of here.
Anyways,
Yeah.
you stomp on out of there.
Out
and that's
they go.
out they go, and that is where I will end it here.
Yeah.
Out they go. Anyway, guys.